was even a worse result in Europe than it was here. And one of the things we discussed at this meeting was, why is that? What's causing this general malaise? And a lot of it is what we talked about earlier. It's the fact that we keep hearing about resource limitations, the fact that we have to restrain growth because of less optimistic. The last thing I'd say, and I had to come back to this, is the confusion between India and Indiana led me to a little anecdote I wanted to share with everybody. I'm in this business because of a single mother in Indiana, my mom, and she got in, why she liked the space program. What made it personal to her was because of Life magazine and Gus Grissom. Okay, he's from Mitchell, Indiana. Life magazine profiled every one of those guys in the Mercury 7. And they were like heroes, as we said, but they were people first. And people everywhere across the country where those folks came from saw something that they wanted to grab a hold of and share that dream. Gus unfortunately died in 1967, but one of the things he said was, if anything should happen to us, we don't want it to stop the program. And that's exactly the kind of thing we need to get back to. The second part of that was later in life when my twins were born, we hired a nanny from India. And when she found out what I did, she brought in her whole autograph collection of all the Soviet cosmonauts. This lady was, and they would come to India because of the alignment with the Russia and India, which we didn't know about as much on this side. But she had a whole collection of autographs from all the different Soviet cosmonauts. So space really does have a broad appeal. We shouldn't undersell that.
So the promise is the human story in a way too.
It is.
The benefit to
It's huge.
Anyone else want to guess what the promise is or communicate what the promise is? Yes.
I'll tell you something about Gus Grissom in a minute.
I think, we've all been working around the same basic fundamental considerations here, and these are all parts of the whole. To me, two of the defining moments of the 20th century were D-Day at the end of World War II, and all the publicity attached to that, and the people dancing in the streets worldwide that the war was over, and America was heroic in having ended the war. And the second one was, of course, the Apollo landing, Armstrong's touching down the moon. And I was watching it in a small motel down in El Paso with 3 other friends, and it was incredibly moving. And the press coverage of that over the next 3 or 4 days worldwide, there were people in Bangladesh dancing in the streets, people in Africa, natives. You can't imagine, those of you who, I mean, many of us were here, I guess, in those days, some of the people who weren't. But if you go back and you look at the press coverage of the Apollo landing and the worldwide acclaim, and everybody, I think, who knew that humans had done that. It wasn't just an American moment. Yes, we were the good guys, and it was a wonderful moment for Americans, but I think everybody in the world felt a part of that. That humans had actually set foot on another heavenly body, another off-Earth planet, and that was such a wonderful moment in history for the whole planet that I think that the frustration now is, as he just said, was we don't have the new frontier. Where would Shackleton go today? Where would Lewis and Clark explore? What new frontiers do we have left on this planet? We've plumbed the depths of the ocean. We've climbed the highest mountains. We've